Hey there children, it's me Grimbles. If you're wondering why my audio sounds different, that's because I'm in between homes right now and recording this audio in a tiny echo-filled room on top of a dog kennel. None of this is going to stop me from making high quality content or asking you the following hypothetical. Do you play Genshin Impact or Fate Grand Order and wish your family members would start talking to you again? Do you watch homoerotic anime like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure or Golden Kamuy and wish that you could be one of those characters that Fujoshis fantasize about? Maybe you realize your dear sweet mother isn't getting any younger and you want to finally become that strong, reliable man who can help her out around the house. If any or all these hypotheticals apply to you, then I have something that'll help you accomplish these things. Unfortunately for many of you, it starts with taking a shower. That's right, I'm talking about general fitness and dieting. Before we dive into this, I have to put out a disclaimer. Grumbles is an edutainment channel, which means I have to play a balancing act between being educational and being entertaining. Also, I'm not a certified dietitian, personal trainer, or doctor. I'm just a guy who spends so many hours in the gym each week that the YMCA should be offering me full-time health insurance benefits. Needless to say, for legal reasons, this video is for entertainment purposes only and should not be referenced for anybody actually trying to improve their general fitness. Failure to adhere to these warnings may involve bodily harm to include testicular torsion and/or death. I am not responsible for your poor life decisions. Now that legal is out of the way, did you know the food pyramid that was developed in 1992 is a scam that was heavily lobbied against and altered by Big Grain to sell more subsidized crops? That's an actual fact you can look up. The original food pyramid was developed in 1972 by Anna Britt Agnaster of Sweden. Well, I can't seem to find a good reference photo for it online. The pyramid was allegedly a 3-stack. The bottom was cheese, dairy, cereals, potatoes, and grains. Then, on top of that, we had fruits and vegetables, as seen in the American food pyramid. The top layer was only meat, fish, and eggs. You'll notice the lack of sugar on the food pyramid, as unlike America, Sweden wasn't stapling the word healthy on cereals that had marshmallows in them or mascots literally named Chocula. Also, it's a pretty solid dietary reference, and for all intents and purposes, I recommend it. Moving from 70 Sweden to 92 America, the USDA was moving away from the Basic 4 meal plan that they'd been running since the 1950s and tried to put together the food pyramid that most millennials and late Gen Xers still know to this day. Needless to say, this thing was a mess, and I hold it in the 90s McDonald's recipe changes responsible for modern America obesity problems. There's more to it than that, but I miss French fries cooked in beef tallow and ate somewhere to vent my rage. Fun fact about that food pyramid. Supposedly, a portion is 4 ounces. I only know this because I looked it up while doing research for this video. When I was in elementary school, in the good old US of A, we were told a portion was the size of a softball because, every American 9-year-old needs to eat at least 11 softball-sized servings of rice and Cocoa Pebbles every day. Also, for you Europeans wondering why I'm not converting this to metric, I'll be dead and using sports balls and football fields as units of measurement long before I adopt your metric system. We use feet here, and we like it. Ranting aside, there are almost infinite articles and guides online for optimal nutrition for adults. I'll include some of them in the description, but for the most part, you want to hit the following goals, especially if you're just starting out. Please note, I'm not going to specify and separate every major food group, nor am I going to recommend a fad diet like paleo or keto. Those are helpful in the short term, but nothing will ever beat calories in versus calories out. 45 to 65% of your calories should come from carbohydrates. Those are plants, grains, fruits, and vegetables. 10 to 35% of your macros should come from proteins. Once again, meats, low-fat dairy, and fish are your primary food sources here. Finally, 20 to 35% of your macros should come from fat. See egg yolks, meat fat, and peanut butter. Once again, I'll leave a link in the description to calculate your dietary needs, as well as a video guide by Mike Mentzer discussing calorie tracking. Now, before we move on, I'll go ahead and show everybody my personal food pyramid. At the bottom, you have the whites. These are milks, yogurts, cheeses, eggs, and rice. Next up, you have meats and fish sharing a row with fruits and vegetables. Because I'm insane, my fruits are 90% pomegranate, and my vegetables are primarily sweet potato and broccoli. Next level up is the pre-workout foods. These include highly sugary cereals and Monster energy drinks. Fun fact, I drink so much Monster Zero that when I pee, the kidney stones hitting the bowl sound like I just hit big playing pachinko. Finally, you have the cheat day food, and that's just funnel cake, apple fritters, and snow cones. I eat them once a week to remind myself what happiness feels like. Now that we have nutrition out of the way, we're going to move on to my favorite part of this video, fitness. But first, A warning, steroid use is so rampant in the fitness and health industry that I'm coining the term Grimbles razor. If someone looks super buff and fit whenever you see them, they're probably on steroids. No, I swear this isn't me coping with the fact that I can genetically develop all the quads I want, but can't grow chest muscles to save my life. Shut up. Steroids aren't necessarily a bad thing, by the way. I'm all for the freak show that's permeated bodybuilding culture since we synthesized testosterone in a lab in 1935. I just want newcomers to understand that you should never compare yourself to famous athletes, or buy into any of their crap. Waking up at 5 a.m. to drink beet juice and then get an early workout is fine, but that's not what made Ronnie Coleman huge. Ronnie Coleman was huge because he had more needles in him than a heroin addict's voodoo doll. In case you're wondering, this is what a natural bodybuilder in peak form looks like if you're a man, and this if you're a woman. For reference, these pictures were pulled from the 2022 Natural Olympia Finals in Las Vegas, and I couldn't tell you who a single one of these people are. Natty lifters don't really have a following, and Tommy Thompson isn't perpetually memed on or talked about like Brandon Curry and Chris Bumstead. Why? Because it's hard to get excited for men and women who've reached the apex of their physical limits naturally when they'd be eclipsed by somebody like Marcus Rule if they got on stage with him. They're fit, but they're not freaks, and people want freak shows. Honestly, I could do an entire video on the fitness industry and how it's got more snake oil than tanning oil, but that's not the point of this video. As I stated, I want you to see what your realistic limits are and that you should never compare yourself to anyone who makes a living off TikTok. Honestly, you should never compare yourself to anyone on TikTok. You're already better off than them because you don't have to use TikTok to make money. As far as maintaining a healthy lifestyle goes, that really depends on your size. I have a buddy who was 400 pounds and he had to take it one step at a time. Literally, he was so overweight that a gradual calorie deficit and walking half a mile a day was necessary before he could do any heavy lifting outside his legs lifting him out of bed. Due to the massive difference in sizes between my potential target audience, I cannot cover every body type. Instead, I'm going to assume all my viewers are beautiful kings and queens who are perfectly weighted for their BMI and just need an extra push to succeed. Remember when I mentioned infinite diets online? There's also infinite workout plans. For sanity's sake, I'm going to throw all but 2 of them out the window and focus on those. Those are the upper and lower plan and the push-pull leg split. Upper and lower is fairly basic, but I don't recommend it, especially for the long term. It has benefits, specifically for people who work all the time and cannot reliably go to the gym for long periods of time, but every time I've tried it, I found myself exhausted after a few days, and the results didn't speak as loudly as push-pull legs. However, I have a friend who's larger and stronger than me who swears by it. So I'm including it in fear he'll replace all my optimum nutrition powder with muscle milk and give me heavy metal poisoning if I don't. I've had a buddy on this for about 4 weeks now, and the results are pretty good, especially as he's a beginner. The way I recommend is you start like this. Start on Monday and do a full chest or back day. Take a break, then on Wednesday, do a full leg day. Once again, take a break and do a full back or chest day on Friday. Then take the weekend off and start again on Monday. Now, some of you may be asking, but Grimbles, why are you having them only work out 3 days a week instead of 5 or 6 like you? And the answer is, because I'm trying to avoid FNG burnout. I'm addicted to working out. If I go 2 days without lifting, I get irritable and I have to go on a 5-mile run to relax. If I had somebody who's just starting out imitating my lifestyle, they'd get sick of it in 2 weeks tops and quit. And as I said, this video is to help new people take their first few baby steps before graduating. Speaking of baby steps, cardio is also very important. It's true, you can lift without cardio and you can do cardio without lifting, but let me ask you, you ever bite into a Popeye's biscuit without water? That terrifying visual is fitness without a lifting/cardio balance. Me, I run 2 miles to my gym, do a full workout, and run back. But as I've stated, I'm insane and have built up an endurance to these kind of things. Also, I don't specialize in powerlifting or bodybuilding. I just like to work out. Instead, for someone starting out, a light jog around their neighborhood or 10 minutes on a stair climber may be all they can do, and that's totally fine. You don't become a marathon runner after jogging for a day, and this is your journey, you need to move at your pace. Hopefully, this video and the links in the description can give you guys a good place to start with your diet and workout routine. General health and fitness isn't rocket brain proctology. It's taking small steps and acknowledging what you need to change. I invite everyone watching to find their way to the Temple of Iron, where all men are equals and that they need to improve. I'll see you there. Just don't go near my squat rack. I left my water bottle there. It's mine. Go do Skull Crushers or something. That's my second educational video. I hope you liked it. Corporate has asked me that in order to beat the algorithm, I ask you all to like and subscribe, but I'm actually chill regardless. If you like my videos, that's great. I'm glad. I'm here to make people laugh, not make money. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to roll up my windows in my black leather car in 95-degree weather without AC and watch Tom Platt's motivational videos. What is videos? Yeah, videos. I'm gonna watch videos and get excited for leg day. All right, see you next time.